Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I'm Furo, and today I bring you another Gwent deck guide for a very strong Gwent deck. We are playing an Alchemy Nilfgaard deck with young Calveit. Why is it called Alchemy? Well, you are running a lot of Alchemy cards, and you're doing that because of one simple bronze unit that was introduced with the midwinter patch, which is the Viper Witcher, which is dealing 1 damage for each alchemy card in your starting deck. So it's not counting the cards that you have currently in your hand, but the one in your deck, so the one that you are seeing right now. The deck has a total of 9 alchemy cards, so that means a Witcher is always dealing 9 points of damage, which is pretty good for a bronze card. So you have the 5 base points and a total of 9 if you hit something for 9. I mean, you could also hit something for 3 and so, then the Witcher is of course a bit weaker. But still, it's a very strong card in combination with all the alchemy cards, and that's why the deck is very fun to play. You have a lot of options with the deck and a lot of steel stuff as well. We are running also the new Slave Driver bronze card, a very powerful tool in the Nilfgaard decks that you are seeing all around. With that, you can create a bronze unit from your opponent's starting deck. Create a new mechanic introduced with Midwinter that is a hot topic in some discussions, so a lot of people dislike the create mechanic, but well, here it is. Slave Driver, we are creating a bronze unit from your opponent's starting deck, so you have 2 points on the Slave Driver and you will create another bronze unit, which might then be worth more points than a normal bronze unit because you're already getting the 2 from the Slave Driver. But of course, depending on the deck that you will face, the synergy is not given. So if you, for example, face let's say a consume deck, you might not get too much value out of the consume units, but I mean, you still get the points. So Slave Driver is very cool. Also, if your opponent is also playing Slave Drivers, potentially you will play a Slave Driver, you create another Slave Driver, the Slave Driver will then create another Slave Driver, and so on and so on. That is not highly likely that you just get Slave Drivers every time, but it's a possibility. So potentially you could just have your board full of Slave Drivers because you're just creating more and more, which is fun, but it's really not happening too often. But it's a fun side effect. Anyway, so for the alchemy cards, we are running the MAHAKAM Ale here, which allows you to boost a random ally on each row by 4. So you are normally trying to have at least 1 unit in the rows, so then 3 units, 1 in each row, and boom, you get 12 points from the ally. Also, you have the OINTMENT here, which allows you to choose 1, heal an ally, and randomly split 5 boosts between allies, or resurrect a bronze unit with 5 power or less, and you can resurrect, of course, the Viper Witches. That's a very good target, or you're going for the Slave Drivers. It depends on the board situation. If you need to kill a key card from your opponent's board side, go for the Witcher. Otherwise, go for the Slave Driver. That might be more valuable for you in the long run. Plus, you can create some crazy stuff, so that's pretty good. So that's your bronze alchemy cards. For the silver ones, we have the DAZHBOG RUNESTONE. That's another contributed card, the create a silver Nilfgaard card, and that can be some spice. So at least for now, I probably will change that. You can create a lot of powerful silver Nilfgaard cards because more or less all these silver Nilfgaard cards are good for you. So that's a very powerful tool. Then you have the expired ale here, which allows you to deal 6 damage to the highest enemy on each row. So for that, of course, you want to have a unit in each row on the opposing side, so it will be then 18 in total, which is a lot. But even if you just hit 2 units full, that's still 12, or maybe you hit a smaller unit, so that will then be 13, 14, whatsoever. So powerful tool if you need some damage. Then you have the Mandrake here, shows 1, heal a unit and strengthen it by 6, or reset a unit and weaken it by 6. So you can get rid of some opposing unit, but what I like to do normally is use the Mandrake here on the ROACH, and then you have a 10 play point silver unit that can get resurrected through the ASSIRE, which allows you to return 2 bronze or silver cards from either graveyard to the respective decks. So normally what I like to do is drop the VESEMIR Mentor, which allows you to play a bronze or silver alchemy card from your deck, which I then pick the Mandrake as the first play. Roach is spawning on the board. Roach is then getting buffed by another 6, so you have then a 10 point unit. That is then, of course, going to the graveyard at the end of the round. And then you will just get the Roach back into the deck with the ASSIRE. And you can also get another Runestone or something in the deck, which is pretty good. And then when you play the next gold card, you will get the Roach back again, which is very good. So free 10 points on the board. Why not? Why not choose that? So I like the start here, but you can of course use the Mandrake just to get rid of an opponent unit if you see there is something that you potentially need to kill that has a lot of points and so on. So for example, against Spy Nilfgaard, it might be good to hit the Emperor Brigade, for example, to hit the Emperor Enforcer to get rid of that if you're not interested in the Roach. But that depends on the situation and the deck that you're facing. For the other gold cards, we have, of course, VILGEFORTZ. Strong one was even buffed by 1 point, I think. It was from 8 to 9 now. Still very good card. You have the CAHIR, of course, it's also stable. Resurrected Leader. So with that, you can just play the young Calveit back again. And if your opponent is playing the Usurper, you can also resurrect the Usurper, which is a nice side effect. So if you think you want to create another leader, but normally Jan Calveit is just too good to not resurrect him. And I'm also running Geralt IGNI, which was changed a tiny bit with a patch. So he's now destroying the highest units on an enemy row if that row has a total of 25 or more. So before the change, you needed to drop him in a row where there was 25 points. Now you can drop him in a row where there are 25 points, but you're not killing then the highest unit on that row. But you can, after that, decide to pick one of the rows. So even if you are not interested in killing the highest unit in the 25 points row, you can still pick one in the other row. So let's assume there is a unit that has 16 points in a single row. So normally you would not be able to kill it with Geralt IGNI, but with the new Geralt IGNI you can if another row has 25 points. So you just drop the Geralt IGNI in that row, and then boom, you will target the 16 points because that is the highest unit in another row. That is a possibility, and that's why I really like Geralt IGNI right now. Is finding a lot of decent targets with all the boosted bronze cards nowadays. So there's a lot of value out for Geralt IGNI normally, and in most cases you will find a target with it. So anyway, that is more or less the deck. Working good for me. I think the Consume monster deck that I've showed you a few days ago before Christmas was working better for me, so it has a higher win rate. But still, the Alchemy deck is fun to play, so I'm currently using that, or at least trying to use that to go to rank 20. Hopefully I can do that in the next couple of days. It's a tough grind. I think the Nilfgaard Spy deck, for example, is tiny bit better than the Alchemy deck and so on, but still a cool deck. And I will now show you a game that I've played with the deck earlier to show you a bit of the deck, how it is working and so on. And that was against the Spy Nilfgaard decks, so please enjoy. For the start, we have a Nilfgaard versus Nilfgaard. Our opponent's using the Usurper, so with that he can create any leader and boost it by 2, and spying, so we are getting 1 extra point, but his leader has 2 extra points, so a little bit of bonus. And if he's getting the right leader, the card is really strong. Let's see what we're doing for the mulligan. So that looks alright. Let's see, Novice, Double Novice. The Runestone is fine, the Expired Ale should be fine. Yeah, we could even just keep that here. Maybe want another Slave Driver, might be good. So how about we're dropping the Expired Ale, maybe that. Go for that. We get the OINTMENT, no interest in that. Get another Witcher, no need for 3, we're dropping again, and we get CAHIR. Well, that's another gold in the hand. Just 1 Slave Driver for the start. I like normally to start with more than 1. And opponent is starting with the Rainfarm. With that he's playing a bronze or silver supply unit from his deck, and that is the CANTARELLA. So 13 points for him right now. So if we start here with the VESEMIR, we would spawn then the ROACH on the board, and then we can pick up our silver, the silver MANDRAKE here. With that we can heal them the ROACH and makes it to 10. So next time we're playing the ROACH, because we can get it back into our deck with the ASSIRE, we will then have a 10-point ROACH on the board. Plus, of course, it's 24 points advantage right now, so it might be even that he's just passing now and taking the 1 extra card advantage for the next round. Because he started with the CANTARELLA. Well, there's more spies coming, mercenary into probably another mercenary. Isn't that? There you go. That's another mercenary, and that is then... No, that's a difficult card for us, and I think we're just killing that. The Imperial Enforcers dealing 2 for each spy unit here. Right now there are 3, and the more spy units they are spawning, the more damage he's doing, so that's why it makes sense to use a Witch here. Kill the Enforcers, do not take too much damage. We're still 27 points ahead, so that will be a huge task for him. Spawning another spy, another mercenary. That's probably another mercenary. There we go. We have a lot of mercenaries here on the board. And 16 points brigade, which is pretty strong, right? It's a pretty strong brigade. But on the other hand, if the lane is getting too crowded, we have GERALT IGNI, so not a huge problem. I would say slave driver for the start. Let's see what we can pick up. We have the medic here, we have the brigade, and we have the mercenary. Don't like the mercenary. I think we're just picking up the medic. And with the medic we will then go for the brigade here, of course, or not the brigade, the enforcer, sorry. So the enforcers and drop it. So there's no spy right now on his side, so that's why we're not dealing damage. But if we will create a spy later, then we are dealing damage. And we have the chance to do so if we go for slave driver, another one. If you find another one, for example, with the Calveit. Oh, that's another enforcer, dealing the damage on the enforcer. So we are probably just using the Witcher and killing the enforcer instantly again. So now he's killing all the spies, which is interesting because... So apparently he's not interested in giving me a slave driver, so that we could create more bronze suit out of his deck. So that's why he needs to kill the spies, but that's of course if he's dropping another brigade here. That is kind of making it weaker, because there are less spies than before. We will not drop the Witcher here, killing the enforcers, so he cannot deal more damage when he's dropping more spies. We're still 17 points ahead.
A highly curious case.
And there's a medic. So guess what? That's another mercenary. This one is up to 18.
If not by strength,
And
by stealth.
now at 20. So not missing too much for a nice GERALT IGNI play. He gave... What was the Witcher is now getting also a spy tech. Interesting, sir. Interesting. How about we will not drop the Calveit here? See what we can find from the top. Oh, there's CANTARELLA. I like CANTARELLA. And Witcher, no need. Let's drop the CANTARELLA. And we will do it here, so then the lane is definitely over 25, and then we can activate GERALT IGNI and drop the CANTARELLA, plus we get an extra card, or the Witcher. You definitely want to pick the Witcher. You can get this one with your novices here, because it's an alchemy card, so totally not going for the other way around. He's now 4 points ahead, but no problem. With GERALT IGNI we could just take down the 20 here without a problem. Dropping the usurper, so we're taking another 1 point. Let's see what kind of leader he is creating. Ooh, that's the cursed one, Ada. Oh yeah, that's totally bad. Getting Iris, which would then give all the units on the other side plus 5 points. It would be now time to play the GERALT IGNI, but if this one's getting the 5 points, we totally want to wait and then kill the unit. And because it's a spy, you can easily take it down. That was a pretty good pickup with the Ada. Pretty good. So what's our plan now? Just go for the novice? We might buff this with the ale. We want to buff it with the ale, right? So let's drop a novice. Going for the... Oh, no, not this one. I want at least one MAHAKAM Ale here. Damn you. So then we have to pick the ornament, of course. I think there is not much in the graveyard right now. We can play the mercenary. But helping us enough? Probably not. Okay, so just pick this one. And we're boosting. And at least we got a boost on the Iris, but it's not enough. With the medic, he's picking up with the enforcers, and with that he's killing the Iris, plus a lot more. So he's now going hard ahead. We have 1 card advantage, so we could potentially just pass at this point. Let's see what is getting buffed. Oh, not even the brigade. Lucky dude. So we are 50 points behind. That's of course just a pass now. He just played 1 brigade, so that means he has 2 more at least for round 2 and 3. Get the expired ale, get another slave driver. So are we keeping that? Novice is good, Witcher is good. I think we will just keep it in the hand. Should be relatively good. And if he's just passing, we might just play the slave driver, to be honest. He's not passing, he is playing something. which is the silver runestone, which is giving it the Empress, which is getting boosted by 1 on the turn start. When your opponent passes, move to the opposing row. And Deathwish destroys the lowest unit on the row, spying. All in all, that's not really good for us. But we will see about that. So we could also play the runestone. Maybe countering that. We also get the Empress. Yep, let's play the runestone as well. Then what do we have here? The Killage, we have the Vanamar, and we have the Treason. Well, all in all, that's not that great. That's not good enough. We cannot pick the Vanamar, so the only card is the... Hello. Gonna drop that here. Oh, we are running out of time, and we will then go for the Ambassador. And gonna buff this one. So 2 to 23, but he's just getting the Empress. I mean, an option would have been to just pick the Witcher here and kill the Empress before. Maybe that would have been better. Yeah, potentially that would have been better, I think. Let's drop Slave Driver. We will then pick up the Infiltrator here. And we will, of course, get rid of the Spy tag, because he's interested in killing the unit. You can already smell that.
No door is
And he's doing it again. Unexpected, sir. Very unexpected. I have some options. We can play the Novice and get the Slave Driver here out. And I think that's what we're doing. Yeah. Another Novice. We will go for the Ornament here. Play then the Slave Driver. There we are. That's a Slave Driver. Dropping that here. And then... damn, we're not even getting there. We're not getting there. We could play the Mercenary. We will go for the Mercenary. Right, drop it here in the back. So then we have the lane full. We will go for another Slave Driver. If we pick the Novice, there is a chance that we just get double MAHAKAM ALE, and then we cannot pick the Slave Driver. If we can pick the Ornament, it would be better to pick the Novice, of course. But you cannot be sure about that. I need to hurry. So there's another Infiltrator. I'll drop that here. I'm gonna get rid of the Spy tag again. So 29 points ahead. With the Ale, we can kill another 14 points right now. So 6 on the Infiltrators and then 2 on the Mercenary, which is also pretty powerful. The Empress will be a huge swing here, because it is just getting boosted every turn and he's getting the points. So that's a swing of 22 points right now. It's pretty good for Silver Card. We can deny a bit of the points if we just hit it down with the Witcher.
A shame I have no time.
So, Mercenary? What are you giving me here? The Enforcers. Hitting a bit down. The Emperor is now at 12 points. I think it's a good time to drop the Expired Ale. I do not want to invest the CAHIR here. The other option we have would be just dropping Desire. And then getting the Roach into the deck. Plus maybe the Silver Runestone won't be too bad. The Viper Witcher won't be too bad. Some solid cards we have. Yeah, I think we're doing that. So I'm gonna drop that. We are totally picking the Roach here, and I think it's the Viper Witcher. We have already played every Witcher, so let's go. Viper Witcher into the deck. Another Spy unit, so the Enforcers, yeah, that is dealing another 2 damage. Already checking it. But what is that? Thing is, the Joachim is boosting a unit by 10, so that's another one. I was hoping that the lane is getting over 25. Apparently not the case here in the situation. But now we are totally dropping the Ale, which is dealing then a total of 18 points of damage. So 6 on the Infiltrator, 6 on the other Infiltrator, and 6 on the Enforcers. So 32 points ahead. And that was just another brigade. And now he's again below 25, so we cannot play Geralt IGNI, which of course sucks. But well. So are we now forced to play CAHIR? Maybe, yeah. So he can easily... I think he can kill the Spy unit, which will be then the 5. He's not killing the Empress. That's not helping him. So That is 21. If we are just passing, he's winning the round. So I think we are forced to play the car here. Fortunately. Kai is giving us more points than just the Witcher, but I don't think the Witcher will be enough. Depending on what that is. So we will go for the car here. John Calveit still. And then keeping the VILGEFORTZ. Let's go for MAHAKAM ALE. Also it's buffing the Empress, but still more points. And then he's normally just passing now. With one card. So that's 90 card that we are 90 points that we are losing. He's getting 90 points, so we're still winning the round. So that's why we can safely pass. We still have one card advantage. But on the other hand, the GERALT IGNI is really not helping us too much with only 2 cards to play in the round. So what we are doing is we will probably drop the GERALT IGNI. MAHAKAM ALE. Well, MAHAKAM ALE is 4 points worth it, but more points if we have more units. That is more than a GERALT IGNI. And that's why we are dropping the GERALT IGNI. Getting the VILGEFORTZ. Oh man, that is not too great. I do not want to start with a Witcher here, and I do not want to start with a VILGEFORTZ. But we could just drop the MAHAKAM ALE. He's looking at my graveyard, so he potentially can resurrect a unit. How many have you played so far? So the medics are... I think the medics are out. So you don't have another medic. Oh, if we drop the Ale, that's one useless card. So VILGEFORTZ, I mean we would kill our 5. We would kill our 5, but we can of course get another Witcher back. We can get the Novice here. Oh man, I think we just dropped the Ale. So it's just 2 versus 2. No card advantage then. But we should at least get our target for the Witcher. I think that is cleverer than just not doing it. If we play the Witcher first, for example, we are not dealing the 9 points. Which might be even enough to kill the unit that he's not playing. Plus then we still have a target for the VILGEFORTZ, hopefully.
Yes.
So he's going for the ASSIRE. And he gave me something back, which was... Oh, another Witcher apparently. Alright, this is fine. So we are playing the Witcher here, hitting the ASSIRE, which means it is 2 versus 5. So a little advantage by 3 points. Now the VILGEFORTZ is coming. So that is 8 versus 5. Guess what? Even the VILGEFORTZ alone is good enough to win us the game. But we are getting another card here on the board, which is another Witcher. And the Witcher's are hitting the brigade, and with that we are winning this game. Was a tough match in the end, but we did it. 12 points ahead, winning the last round and the total game.